I always get so incredibly sweaty and stressed when I walk up to that Border Patrol booth at the airport. They ask me why I am visiting, where I am staying, and what my job is. It feels like an interrogation where my entire future depends on saying the exact right thing.
That is the biggest misconception travelers have. You think the interview begins when you hand over your passport. The truth is, under federal operations, the border agent already knows the answers to almost every question they are asking you before you even enter the terminal. They are relying on a hidden framework called the Advanced Passenger Information System. When your flight departs, the airline is legally required to transmit your booking data, your travel history, and your background directly to Customs and Border Protection.
Wait, so while I am sitting on the plane watching a movie, they are building a profile on me down on the ground?
Exactly. By the time your feet hit the ground, your data has been run through the automated targeting system. If you are a foreign visitor, they know your visa status. If you are a citizen, they know your basic travel patterns. The agent at the desk is not asking you these questions to gather new information. They are testing you. It is a behavioral baseline check. They want to see if your verbal answers seamlessly align with the digital dossier flashing on their screen. If you hesitate or over-explain, you trigger a discrepancy.
Wow. So when they ask, "What is the purpose of your trip?" I shouldn't give them a whole backstory to prove I am innocent?
Never do that. In a border situation, confidence is your currency, and silence is your shield. Rambling is the number one trigger for secondary inspection. If they ask your purpose, just say tourism or business. Keep it to 1 or 2 words. But the verbal trap is just the beginning. The next thing they look for is actually the most common reason innocent people get detained, and it has nothing to do with terrorism or crime.
Okay, what is it? I always make sure I don't have any liquids over the limit, and I never carry large amounts of cash. What are they looking for that catches normal people?
Food. More specifically, undeclared agricultural products. People vastly underestimate the power of the agriculture specialists at the border. Let us say you packed a fresh apple from your hotel in Europe as a snack, or someone gave you a homemade sandwich on the flight and you put it in your bag. If you check no on the declaration form for bringing in food, and a beagle sniffs out that apple, you are not just getting a warning.
But it is just an apple. Do they really care that much about a piece of fruit?
They care on a biological level. The United States protects its agricultural industry fiercely against foreign pests and diseases. If you fail to declare that single piece of fruit, you can immediately be fined up to $1,000 on the spot. But the financial penalty is not the worst part. Being caught with undeclared agriculture triggers a violation in the Treasury Enforcement Communications System. You are now officially flagged as a violator.
Flagged? How long does that stay on my record? Just for a forgotten snack?
4 years. If you hold a trusted traveler status like Global Entry, they will revoke it immediately. You will lose your fast-track privileges, and for your next several international flights, you will likely be pulled out of line for a mandatory bag search every single time you return to the United States. But as invasive as a bag search sounds, it is nothing compared to the legal loophole they utilize to look through your personal electronics.
Oh, I have heard horror stories about that. Can they really just demand my phone and read my text messages? Do I not have privacy rights?
The border is uniquely exempt from standard constitutional protections. You are legally considered to be at a port of entry, which means the standard requirement for a warrant goes out the window. However, there are strict internal rules regulating how they do this. According to Customs and Border Protection Directive number 3340-049A, updated back in 2018, there are 2 levels of electronic device searches, basic and advanced.
What is the difference? And do I have to give them my password if they ask?
Yes and no. A basic search means the officer can scroll through your phone just like you would, looking at pictures and messages that are downloaded locally to the device. They cannot use your phone to access data stored in the cloud. If you refuse to provide your password, they cannot physically force you to unlock it. However, if you are a foreign national, refusing to unlock the phone is grounds for immediate denial of entry. If you are a citizen, they cannot deny you entry, but they can legally seize your device and keep it for weeks.
That is terrifying. What constitutes an advanced search then? Do they plug it into a machine?
Exactly. An advanced search involves copying the data or using forensic equipment to access hidden or deleted files. But crucially, officers are not allowed to perform an advanced search on a whim. The directive requires them to have reasonable suspicion of a specific customs violation or national security concern before they can hook your device up to their forensic tools. Knowing this line is critical, but your phone is really just a secondary vulnerability. Your primary vulnerability lies in how you answer the ties question.
The ties question? You mean when they ask how long I am staying? I always have my digital return ticket ready on my phone to show them I am leaving.
A return ticket is the bare minimum, and honestly, a border agent knows that a return ticket can be easily canceled the moment you clear customs. Under Section 214B of the Immigration and Nationality Act, every non-immigrant visitor is legally presumed to have immigrant intent. That means the law requires the border agent to assume you are trying to secretly move to their country permanently, unless you can prove otherwise.
Wait, so I am guilty until proven innocent when it comes to just wanting a vacation?
Exactly. That is why they ask about your job, and if you have family waiting for you back home. They are looking for strong socio-economic ties to your home country, a stable career, property ownership, or immediate family members left behind. If you are young, recently unemployed, carrying a backpack, and give a vague answer about visiting a friend for a few months, all the alarm bells go off. They do not care about your digital ticket. They care about your incentive to leave.
So if I get nervous and fumble that question, or if I just genuinely have an open-ended travel timeline, what happens next? Does an alarm ring?
No alarms. The agent will simply hand back your passport enclosed in a yellow folder, or an escort will quietly appear behind you. You are about to experience the most misunderstood area of the airport. Welcome to secondary inspection.
Okay, no, that is my absolute worst nightmare. The little windowless room where they interrogate you for hours. If I get sent there, am I effectively under arrest?
Put those Hollywood movie fears away. The vast majority of people sent to secondary inspection are not criminals, and they are not under arrest. The primary booth agent simply operates under extreme time pressure. They have about 90 seconds per passenger to clear you. If your background check triggers an administrative flag, like a duplicated name, an old visa glitch, or even a random compliance check, the primary agent does not have the time to resolve it. They send you to secondary simply because the officers in the back room have the time to look deeply into the main databases.